Hi, this is Tori Wheel with the Oracle Technology Network. We're here at JFocus talking to members of the Java community, and I've got Linda Vanderpel with me today. Hey, Linda.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. So, Linda, you're the founder of the JDuchess organization for women in Java. So if you're interested in that, you can go to jduchess.org.
And hopefully we'll have the website up soon.
So there's pressure for her to update her website.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Agile, because you've been in the Agile community for a while.
Yeah, I've been there for ages, I guess.
Okay. So before we do that, tell me a little bit about what work you're doing now.
Right now I'm in Java consulting. I work for a company that mostly does consulting for companies, and they do projects too and some product development, but mostly consulting.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your experience with Agile.
Well, actually, my actual factual experience with Agile is not that great, because I've worked mostly for big companies like banks, and my experience is that they're not very agile there, and they're also not very interested in becoming agile. They're more interested in making their deadlines.
Okay, so they're very waterfall-centric. Okay.
Big upfront design and big deadline that's getting ever closer, and the development time becoming ever smaller as the specs become later and later. And
right, so the further you are downstream, the less time you have stuff to do. So tell me, you're saying in smaller companies you do see Agile happening?
Yeah, I've done one pretty much truly Agile project. At least we tried our very best to actually be Agile, and that was in a smallish company, and they only had one development team, and they were developing the main product that the company was using to sell their services. And, well, we worked as agile as we could. We had sprints. We changed the length of the sprints a bit to make it fit the business, because the business had some problems with committing for a set period. That for some reason, for companies, it's a lot easier to commit for half a year than it is to commit for 3 weeks and not change any of the scope.
Interesting. Wow. So tell me, do you believe in Agile? Is it hype? Is it ripe? Where do you fall on that scale?
I think it also depends on the company itself, whether it will work. Because right now I'm in a project where they say they're working Agile, but they're not really doing Agile. The way I see it, they're doing waterfall the way it was meant, with iterations and moving around towards the goal and resizing the scope a little bit. But really, it's just a half-year release, and we do have the demos in between to show the customer where we're going, so we can, if it's not quite what they want, we can go in the right direction. But there's a lot of things we can't change anymore because they're too big of a change, and we'll tell them, well, sorry, but we can't do that. We'll have to work with what we've got, because this is our scope and this is our design. We can change.
So if somebody's interested and they buy into Agile, where's a good place to get started or get involved with the community?
I think the XP days around the world are a very good place to get started. That's like an Agile community where they have conferences, small conferences, like the 2 days, and with a lot of people that are really, really into Agile, and they have a lot of people with lots of experience in it as well, and they're all sharing knowledge. Like the developer community here, it's mostly you go to a session and you sit and you listen to somebody talk about a really interesting subject, so it's good for learning. But in the Agile community, it's a lot more active. You have to really be a part of the presentation. It's more of a workshop thing. And what I've found is that it's a much, much better way of learning, because you're actually doing something right away.
Right.
You're using it as you're learning.
So not being as passive.
Yeah, it's a very active community. And also, where I've also been going is to like Agile coach camps. I'm not a coach, but I've noticed that I might grow into one at one point, and again, that is a very friendly, open community where people are welcome and you're becoming part of them. At one XP days, we had one of those lineups where you had to stand in line according to your seniority in the Agile community. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on the 1 year experience side of the line. And people on the other side with 15 years like, but you've been in the community for like 10 years now. How come you've only got 1 year? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of hard to work in big bureaucratic companies to get it working.
Right. So, but it's a nice thing, even though if you're not doing it in
I've
your
always
work.
tried to at least get some little Agile practices in, even if we're doing waterfall.
Yeah, some Agilettes into your... Good. So thank you, Linda. I'm really glad you dropped by, and I look forward to seeing more from you. This is Tori Wheel from the Oracle Technology Network. Thank you.